This is the 2024 Lexus IS 500, and it's a dying breed in the world of performance cars. This is a car ready to deliver an exhilarating dose of old-school performance from one of the best V8 engines ever produced. Let's take it for a spin and find out. So since Lexus dropped the V8 engine into this small IS sedan, it's given the car a whole new lease of life. Now, let's not get confused. This is not an ISF, but it doesn't need to be because it's brilliant in almost every way. So the recipe is fairly simple. Take a rear-wheel drive family car and stuff a massive V8 up front. So Lexus essentially took the IS 350, took some components, i.e. engine and transmission, from the RCF, and basically left most of the other mechanicals unchanged. So the IS might be old, but Lexus has continued to update the shape over the years, and I think it looks pretty sharp. The Lexus Darth Vader grille is aging well. Side by side, you get these really cool, narrow LED lights, and then at the back, it still looks muscular and aggressive, especially with these quad tailpipes. So there is a lot to like still about the slightly aging IS. All models come with what they call dark chrome trim, which includes these dark mirror housings, this dark colored rear spoiler, it's quite subtle, and at the rear, this black bumper treatment. So for 2024, a special appearance package has returned for folks that want to take their car to the next level. Now that includes this blue Vector paint and these 19-inch BBS alloy wheels, wearing these Bridgestone Potenzas. They're 235 40s on the front, they're 265 35s on the rear. Inside, you get some subtle blue stitching. It's on the seats, it's on the mats, it's sort of scattered around the cabin. Now, this special appearance package is limited to only 150 units in North America. So under the hood is a double overhead cam, naturally aspirated 5-liter V8. It's got 472 horsepower, 395 foot-pounds of torque, driven through an 8-speed automatic transmission. And from 0 to 60, it'll take around 4.3 seconds. So not really a match for an M3 as such, but it will give an M340i a run for its money. The trunk's decent size. You get 11 cubic feet of space for whatever stuff you want to throw in the back. And under here you get a spare wheel. It's sort of a banana yellow color, which is interesting. It's a 145/70 size tire, but it's better than no tire at all. And then you also get a first aid kit. So how much is it? Well, base prices are $63,670, but the special appearance package is $3,670. It's also got illuminated door sills and that carpet in the trunk. That's another $545. Price out the door, including destination, is $68,870. Okay, so one word can be used to describe the rear: compact. Very little headroom, not a lot of legroom. This chair is pretty much in the same position as mine is for driving. 2 vents, no controls, but the seats are soft and squishy and nicely comfortable, and they're covered in this very nice soft leather. You get an armrest with a couple of little cup holders as well. Very well made, very solid, but a little bit cramped. Much better in the front, more room, nicely bolstered seats. Passenger and driver get the same controls. You get lumbar support, fore and aft, and then up and down. You also get a sunroof, which I think is superfluous. Really nice steering wheel, nice and thick, not too fat in your hands. Really feels pretty good. Nice rail shifter instead of a little stupid button. Nice cup holder as well. It fits my cup quite nicely, and a little bit of storage space in the center armrest. And just like everywhere else, the build quality is spot on. So inside, the technology is a little bit dated. You get this 10.3-inch touchscreen. So this system includes Apple CarPlay integration and Android Auto compatibility, but you don't get a wireless charger, which is a bit of a miss. What you do get, though, are physical buttons below here. So this is all your HVAC control. I'm not really super keen on these sliders right here for the temperature. I'd rather have a little dial, but that's okay. physical power button, physical tune button, and below here you can basically skip between radio, media, and of course the old-fashioned Lexus CD. Move the shifter out of the way, and below that you've got heated seats and cooled seats on both sides. You've got a heated steering wheel. Down here you've got drive mode, so Eco, Normal, you can customize it. You can go Sport S or Sport S Plus. There's a button for snow mode, traction control off, and there is your hold. Lexus still uses this really unfortunate trackpad. It makes this weird sort of like strange alien-like noise. It's okay, but it's really difficult to use while you're on the move. So set everything and then go. 2 OK cup holders. My phone fits in there, and then this also fits as well. Finally, in here, you get some space to store stuff. I got the keys here. Also got 2 USBs and a 12 volt. Immediately ahead of the driver, you have got pretty standard gauges for this car. This thing moves though, which is kind of cool. So you can move that over, the tachometer and the mileage, also the MPH as well. You can see your range, you can scroll down, you can see your eco indicator, you can see I'm averaging 15.8 miles to the gallon, which isn't that great. Then you can hit the button and move that dial back. Each time you change the mode, so go into Sport S, changes, S Plus, it gets more angry, and that's the mode that I spend most of my time in. All right, now what we need to do, which is where all the enjoyment of this car is to take it for a drive. All right, so let's get out of this little spot we're in here, and then we'll set it up for Sport S Plus. There's a couple of things that there's one thing that I dislike about Sport S Plus, hard to believe, and then there's something that I really like about it, and there's a way to solve the problem that I think I have with it. So just for driving around town and sort of going along this sort of really slow road to get out here onto the main road, normal mode is just fine. Eco, not so much. If you put it in Eco, you have to literally push your foot through the firewall to get it to even change down, which is annoying. Of course, you do have paddle shifters, and we'll use those in a second. But meanwhile, let's get up this little hill. I like the way that Sport S Plus mode learns your driving pattern. The more you stick your foot down, all right, S Plus, the more you stick your foot down, the more it holds on to the revs, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Changes up right on the red line, and then off we go. Suspension's a little bit firmer, but reasonably compliant in Sport S Plus. See, this is a concrete road, so it is a bit noisy. Okay, put your foot down. Oh, pulls like a train. It's not that quick off the line. In fact, you really have to baby it a little bit to be able to get it off the line very quickly. I found that Sport S Plus mode and using the paddle shifters in one was probably the easiest way to get it off the line and to keep the traction control on. Otherwise, it just spins its wheels. And these Bridgestones certainly do not have as much grip as, say, a pair of 4 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. So this is all downhill. Good test to see whether the brakes really heat up. I've had them a little smelly a couple of times. There's no carbon ceramic package for this car, but it doesn't need it. Better to stay in a slightly lower gear here, get a little bit of engine braking, take the pressure off the brakes. Luckily, this whole road has been resurfaced, so damn, this thing is good. God, I love how this thing revs. series of just fantastic turns. Heard the tires squeal there. These Bridgestones ready to give up. The torque band is pretty good for around 3,700 RPM to around 5,500 or so. So you might as well short shift a little bit. But knowing that you can change down with your left hand is just so much faster than the transmission. It's just not quite intuitive enough to know exactly what you want. So yeah, handling wise, with the softer suspension and these awful roads, it does a really good job. Now, they haven't done anything with the steering. The steering feels okay, but it could be a little bit more direct, and there's very little feel. Can't complain about the brakes though. So that was a slow truck that sort of pulled over for me, but I was in second. I was able to pull immediately and get power from the engine. Because it lacks torque. It's a naturally aspirated engine, but it revs to 7,000 RPM. That's the joy of a naturally aspirated V8. So this is where I use all my gas. That's why I'm not getting very good fuel economy. And the good thing is, of course, this is a Lexus, or basically a Toyota. So you can cane it like this and not have a worry of anything going wrong. You feel the traction control kicking in. I feel like these tires they'll let slip a little bit. Certainly on public roads, it is advisable to leave it switched on. So much fun, this thing. And then when you get back home and you put your wife on board and the kids, you can just drive it normal, and it's just a nice, comfortable car. 4 doors, practical, little trunk space. And then it does this at the weekend. So seamless. This one's a little bumpy. Ugh. A little bit of wind noise around the mirrors. Such a fun car to drive, though. I just like the fact that Lexus just wants to shoehorn this V8 into anything they can fit it into. One thing though, it is getting a little expensive. I mean, this one is the limited edition with the paint, blue paint. Not sure I'd go for that, but it started at 63. Can't remember the price of a RCF. I thought they were around 70, 72, but that's not as practical as this car. Just hear them, they're just starting to slip just a little bit. I guess if you're on a track and you're turning the traction control off, then you're going to get the car sideways pretty well. But for regular roads like this, I'm going to want a little bit more grip. So this next section is rough pavement, you can hear, and some tighter turns. pretty good. You do feel it rolling a little bit. So I hit the rev limiter there, but it was fun. The whole dash screams orange. But it's really plenty, but I just can't help thinking how much better it would be with some Michelin Pilot 4S's. Oh, just wickedly fun. Such nice sound. So what do we think? Well, I'm absolutely fine with Lexus stuffing this magnificent V8 in as many cars as they have. I mean, it's in this one, it's in the RCF and its performance versions, track versions. It's also in the LC500 and the LC500 convertible. I absolutely love it. Yes, this is a bit let down with its interior. It's a little bit old-fashioned, but then isn't a V8 powered four-door sedan old-fashioned anyway? It's the only one you can buy in 2024, and it'll probably be the only one that you can buy in 2025. It's an absolute grinfest wherever you go. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video. Out.